Hello, everybody. It's Lou. We have with us today Teresa Bertini, and she is from, you can maybe see it over my shoulder here, from Spring Hill College in Mobile, Alabama, one of my favorite Jesuit schools in the whole United States of America. And I know our guys have heard of Spring Hill because it is a Jesuit college. But Teresa, I would love it if we could start out our talk today just by telling people who know that much about Spring Hill what makes it so special.
Okay. Well, I think I might be a little biased because I went to Spring Hill. I graduated from there in 2018. So this is 3 years out. It makes me feel crazy. But, something that really made Spring Hill special, at least from a former student, is just the connections. I mean, when I visited Spring Hill, I had no desire to go to school in the South. I wanted to go to a big school. I thought that I was going to go to a bigger school that was a Jesuit school in New York. And I went to Spring Hill and I met my admissions counselor and he said, "Hey, let me take you on a personal tour, just the two of us." And it was one of those moments that was so personal and it was so impactful because, you can remember tours, you can kind of think about something that's special, but when you have that moment that's so intimate, that's so private and personal between your admissions counselor who talks to hundreds of kids and knows who you are. I mean, that just started it. And then the rest of it was it was just from that get-go. Every moment was personal and sorry, my boyfriend just came in. Personal and just an actual meaningful relationship. Not to mention also, how great I was an education major and how great the education program was. But I think it was that personal moment that made it special in the first place.
Well, and I totally agree. That is what makes Spring Hill incredibly special. Not only that, but just the city of Mobile is so unique and awesome. Tell us something about that.
So the way that I like to describe Mobile, and you've been there, but I kind of like to say it's like a cleaner New Orleans in a way, and a little bit safer. I mean, I love New Orleans. I used to go all the time, probably one weekend a month, which is also a benefit. You're about 2 hours away from New Orleans, but Mobile it's cleaner and it's a little bit safer, but it's got that same feel. Like it's so vibrant at night. There's always people out downtown. Our students love to go downtown on Thursdays, and it's so fun to see live music, but also these amazing creators and artists and singers. And there's never a night that you go to downtown Mobile and you don't see something happening. Like there's always going to be something happening. So, in particular, I like that Mardi Gras was originated in Mobile. As you know, you got
Anybody
the good
who
Mardi
didn't
Gras.
know that fact, that is a fact. For anybody who thinks
Oh,
it's
yeah.
New Orleans, you're sadly mistaken.
You're wrong. I know. And it's so funny because my birthday's in February and I was so used to being from Chicago, having my birthday off as a snow day. And then, I got my birthday off as Mardi Gras in college. And I was like, this is so different. It's so much better. So yeah, I mean, I love the city of Mobile. It's also great too, because there are a lot of outlets that, with us being a smaller school, we're about 1,500 students, there's a lot of ways to get involved in the community. So, if you are involved in musical theater, we don't have a musical theater program, but we have the Joe Jefferson Players. We've got Theater 98 about 30 minutes away. So, it's nice because you can become part of the community if there's something on campus that you want but isn't available yet.
Absolutely. Oh, I love that part too. And it being a Jesuit school, there's outreach into Mobile,
Oh, yeah.
just a school for others. And I feel like there's a really good relationship between Spring Hill and the city of Mobile.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it was nice because with education, you have to have an internship before you graduate. That's one thing that makes, it's mandatory for most majors, but with education, you get to have a little bit of a say where you have your internship. And for my whole life, I thought that I wanted to teach at like a Catholic private school and be like a little like school teacher, like Miss Honey in Matilda. And
Right.
then getting to know Mobile and getting to know the schools in the area, I was like, oh my God, I need to teach at a public school. I
Um,
need to work with those kids. And you're right. I mean, the relationship that we have, Spring Hill, with the community, I mean, especially you see it in internships. If you apply for an internship and you say, or you give your resume and it says, I'm a current student at Spring Hill College, you have such a higher probability of getting that internship than other students do.
oh, that's awesome. What
Yeah.
are the most popular majors these days?
So something that's pretty exciting is that we have a new major. There's about 5 or 6 students in it right now, but it's a 3+1 undergrad and graduate degree. So in 3 years, you get your undergrad in supply chain
Okay.
management. In that 4th year, you get your MBA. So in
Oh,
4 years, you graduate, you walk with your friends that you made, so you don't, have to stay a 5th year alone.
yeah.
And yeah, it's really exciting. So this is our first year. We're getting the ball rolling. So that's been really popular, just business in general.
Yeah.
We have the #1 nursing program in the state of Alabama. So we're very proud of our nursing majors.
Okay.
Um, Education is very strong. PR and advertising, communication arts is very strong. We have our own TV show. We have our own radio. So, if you want to get involved in that, we have our own newspaper as well. If you wanted to get involved in that, but we also have an extremely strong pre-med, pre-health program. We actually have a partnership with SLU. So we have, it's called a pre-med scholars program. So,
Oh,
if your students they're thinking about going to school kind of closer, they could do best of both worlds, go to undergrad at Spring Hill and then come back to graduate school at SLU.
well, there you go. I think that's
Yeah.
a lot of people have those kind of thoughts in their mind. Like, I think I want to mix it up for undergrad, do a different climate, a different culture. And that's the neatest thing about Mobile, I think, is that it's going to be so different, but so authentic. Just, I think a lot of, when you think of Mardi Gras and you think of New Orleans, a lot of it is just so commercial.
Yeah.
But when you do Mardi Gras, when you do the cultural experiences of Mobile, you just get that very authentic Gulf Coast feel that's just extremely unique. It's not even really Southern, it's just totally different, right?
Mhm.
So,
Yeah. And I think, all 4 years that I was at Spring Hill, I went to Mardi Gras in New Orleans. I'm not
oh,
even going to lie, but I was raised going to Mardi Gras. I have family in Mobile, so it was good for me. But my friends that, you know, everything was a completely new experience. They stayed in Mobile for the first couple of years just to have the family kind of function and know that they were safer and closer to campus. So yeah, I see what you mean about, authentic and keeping each other safe for sure.
yes, yes, exactly. Well, what's happening? What new things are happening at Spring Hill that our guys would need to know about? Maybe even things that aren't necessarily on the website.
Yeah, so something that's pretty big, which I think but we cut our tuition in half. So
That's
yeah,
amazing.
so that's pretty much our biggest thing that's happened. I mean, it's all over the website, but something that's not up is we do have for business. You are a business major, but you get to choose your concentration. And now we have a concentration in sports management because we have so many guys asking for it. So we've got sports management.
Yeah.
We've always had like a computer science side or concentration in business, but now we're bringing it to the science side. So now you can be a computer science major if you're interested. And we're looking at, so many more majors and concentrations because everything is constantly changing, especially in the world of COVID.
Yeah.
So
Well, and this
those are the
supply chain
two.
management thing, what a brilliant idea. I mean, this is the world
Yes,
of COVID,
yeah.
right? With supply chain, let's get them educated and get them meant for others and out there in the world
Well,
doing
it's funny you
good.
say that. I met up with, because being a regional, I met up with a dad from Chicago and he was with his son and he said, I never would have said to be in supply chain management because that's what I'm in. But Teresa, now because of COVID, I am making more money than I ever had. And I said, oh, what do you do? And he goes, I sell toilet paper.
Oh my gosh.
And he said supply chain management in his eyes has completely changed. Everything about it is, it has gone in reverse. Everybody wants to be in it now. So I think we started it at the right time. Not saying that I love being in a pandemic and constantly being quarantined, but we started it at a good time.
Exactly. Oh, I love that. And I just see that that's just another thing that Spring Hill kind of alludes to in their website, but just such a growth mindset kind of
Mhm.
a place. They're willing to adjust and work with the world the way it is now. I mean, the fact that you did the tuition cut and the fact that you're adding this new program and just everything. I have to talk about one of my experiences there, though, when I toured the school. When I came down for the counselor visit, that was so the day we went to visit classes was the day before Mardi Gras break. And I
Mhm.
said, oh, well, this is easy. We'll be the entire class. Because no one's going to
Wouldn't
be
be
hanging around
surprised.
the day before
Yeah.
Mardi Gras break. But honestly, in the class that I went to, which was a Civil War class, I believe,
Hmm.
is that possible?
Yeah, the history class.
In the history department, I'm sure of that. 18 of the 22 or 18 of the 20 students in that class showed up for class
I'm so proud
at
of them.
10 in the morning, the day before Mardi Gras
That's
break.
awesome. Oh
And
my
it was a
God.
super robust discussion, and the professor was amazing. And I think it's just kind of the best of all worlds, a small school where you're going to get personal attention, but in a big and very different city. With access to a lot of different internships and things, and that growth mindset and the men for others. I mean, why would you not apply?
Yeah, you should be a saleswoman for us. I think something too that, kind of going back on what you were saying about growth. So this is our second year of being test optional. And I think, so many schools are going test optional, temporarily because of COVID and then going back to it. And we did it before COVID, but we talked in our office and we're like, this is what's happening now. This is going to be the new norm. You can't expect students to be able to have the ACT and SAT tutoring. You can't expect them to, be able to financially afford to take multiple tests to get a better score. So we were like, this is it. We are going to make ourselves, definitely more competitive and not look so scary. But at the same time, we want all students to be able to apply.
Right, exactly. And how have you found that to be after the first cycle? You don't have a
So
crystal ball. You can tell us how it went.
yeah, no. So my territories, I will say a lot of students did apply test optional. So last year I had a bit of the Midwest, Illinois, Wisconsin, Kansas, Missouri, and then Florida. So a lot of my students in those areas did apply test optional. And that was just because, they might not have had great test scores, whatever they wanted to do. We never had to ask. But this year, I would say probably 50%, if not more, of the students that have applied test optional. I think that this is really, it's going to be a new norm. It's also, you could sign up for 5 tests and all of them get canceled. So for as of right now, this is what's going to happen for a while.
The stories these kids could tell you. Oh my gosh, walking up to a school building and have a sign taped on the window. Sorry, we're not giving the
I've
ACT.
heard that. I mean, I cannot imagine being in high school right now. Like the strength that these students have, I did not have to. I'll put it that way. I mean, I don't know if I could have done it. I would have been so frustrated all the time.
Isn't it nuts? Well, we appreciate your accommodating of their situation and
Oh,
understanding their situation and being willing to look at essays and delve a little deeper into the transcript and things like that. So, what else have I not given you a chance to talk about that you were hoping that you'd get to talk about?
I need to think. I'm looking over some notes. Well, I will say we are open. So we have tours. We have 2 tours a day. Uh,
Good.
we also have, if you're not comfortable coming down, we have 1 tour a week that's already scheduled. That's a Zoom tour. We have 2 tours on our website that are already interactive and already posted. So you can look at those whenever you want. And you can also just reach out to our office and say like, hey, will you take me on a Zoom tour? And we'll do it. But like I said, I mean, we have 2 tours every day, which we do have people coming to. We have a limit. So, you know, you feel safe and comfortable. You do have to wear a mask.
Yeah.
And then about every other Saturday, we also have them. So if you wanted to drive down, not miss too much school, the drive from St. Louis is about 8 or 9 hours.
Okay.
I don't think it's that bad
No.
being 16. So, you know, I don't think it's terrible. But if you are comfortable visiting, the students are more than welcome to, and they'll meet with an admissions counselor. I have a couple students. We have a room now where the students can sit and Zoom with a professor so that the professor is comfortable and they don't have to meet with them in person. So
Oh, but
trying
that's
to accommodate everything.
Oh, that's really, really nice. I like that. Well, I hope some of our students will shoot on down to Mobile and take advantage of taking a tour of Spring Hill. You will see a full golf course on their campus as well, which is also another very unique item. And I think it's just going to be a great place for quite a few of our guys. So thank you so much for your time today, Teresa.
Thank you. Yeah. And if anybody needs to reach out, my information is on the website, but also, you know, my students can text me, FaceTime me, Zoom me, literally whatever they want. I'm so personal with my kids that I talk to them all the time. Even like kids will go on Instagram and find me there and ask me questions. So
Oh,
whatever the guys need to do to find me, I'm happy.
oh, good. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate your time today.
Well, thank you.
All right.